What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with none other than Big Ramy, the 2 times former Miss Olympia, and the upcoming Arnold Classic that will mark 2 years since the last time we saw Big Ramy step on any bodybuilding stage. So he posted this training video on his story, and if that is the recent one, the man looks really massive. So this is the Big Ramy that the bodybuilding fans and his fans have always known of. But I have got to say with his team, specifically asking RX Muscle, not to ask him any Olympia related question, that pretty much solidifies that he might never do the Olympia again. So Big Ramy was so motivated to get back on the stage after getting a very unfair 4th place at his last show, which was the Arnold Classic. But I think after some very deep reflection, he might have had changed his mind, his opinion about competing on that level again. So Big Ramy is 40 years old and he has been a bodybuilder who was weighing more than 300 pounds for most part of the last decade. So that kind of weight, that kind of muscle mass, that does come with a lot of consequences. So if Big Ramy never steps on the stage again, the fans will 100% understand his decision. There is nothing left for him to accomplish other than an Arnold title, which Big Ramy never won. For those of you guys who do not know, he won the Arnold Brazil, but not the one in Columbus. But Ramy's size in this update, that looks extremely impressive. Next up we have an update from the Beast, Akim Williams. So after a hard-fought battle in Romania against Rafael Brandao, Akim is back in the US and he isn't done with the competition season just yet. Now we were all hoping that he does this upcoming Prague, which is happening this weekend. But Akim is confirmed for the Big Man Weekend, which is happening in December, which by the way is gonna be the last show of 2024. So, no matter what the scorecard said for Romania Pro, we believe it was really close between Akim and Rafael Brandao. So he's the favorite to win in Spain and secure his Olympia spot for next year. Something which Akim hasn't done in a long time. I mean getting his Olympia qualification so early in the season. So from this year's Arnold Ohio to Romania Pro, Akim has become a better bodybuilder. Nobody questioned Rafael Brandao versus Akim at this year's Arnold Ohio, but here in Romania, there were mixed opinions. Now don't get me wrong, I agree with the decision of Rafael Brandao beating Akim in Romania, but not with those fair scores. Now that being said, Akim did bring his A game to this year's Romania Pro, and he doesn't have to do much to get 1st place in Spain. Just duplicate the same package, and he will be in the driving seat for the win. So Akim being a top 10 Olympian from this past Miss Olympia, that will make it almost impossible for some of these other guys like Horst MD or Emir or even Andrea Presti to get their Olympia qualification at that show. And I think we can all agree, qualifying for the Olympia, especially in the last couple of years, that has become so difficult, and it's getting even more difficult with every passing year. Urs Kalashinsky adds more hype to this upcoming Prague Pro event, and all you have got to see is that caption under his latest physique update. But if you are hoping that Urs is gonna jump into this upcoming Prague and compete in the men's Open Plus against his former rival Chris Bumstead, now that could have been possible up until last year. But as per the new IFBB rules, you have to sign up for a show at least a week before it is scheduled. So Urs isn't stepping on that Prague Pro stage, at least not for competing. But there are gonna be some memorable moments in regards to Urs Kalashinsky, because first of all, he is gonna be there in person at Prague. And not only just that, he is gonna be guest posing at the same show. And I think we are gonna get to see a very shredded, but a super-sized version of Urs on the stage. Now the man looks to be in a phenomenal shape at the moment. And quite honestly, he looks so damn ripped that if he wanted to, he could have done this show. But the thing is, Urs has bigger goals for 2025. The Classic Physique Olympia title, that is up for grabs after 6 long years. And Urs made a very big statement at this past Miss Olympia by beating so many big names, so many of his rivals like Ramon, Brion, Fazi, whom he wasn't supposed to beat, based on what we saw happened at this year's Arnold. So not only did he brought his best conditioning ever, his arms and his back more specifically, that was considerably improved, and nobody is gonna sleep on him ever again. Next up we have another off-season physique update from Terrence. Now I'm not gonna say that this is his biggest version ever, because he has gone up to 220 pounds previously in the off-season. But this is a really impressive version in terms of the fact that he can still pull a vacuum. He still has very good separation in his quads, and he is slowly putting on the much needed size. So Terrence is also one of those guys who has such a winner's mindset. As you guys can see, the number 4 hashtag that he has been using under all of his recent updates. So whoever wins this upcoming 2025 Classic Physique title, he is gonna be the 4th champion in Classic Physique since the division was introduced back in 2016. And Terrence has all the intentions to make that become a reality for him. Now if everything goes smoothly, do not be surprised if Terrence makes a similar kind of transformation as we saw with Mike Sommerfeld this year. Because there is literally nobody in the first Olympia callout who has more room to grow, to get bigger than Terrence Ruffin. So Terrence's quads, they are among his biggest strengths. His back is also very complete. So the main focus will be on bringing up his arms. Because the front runner right now, Mike Sommerfeld, he showed us some great arms at this past Miss Olympia. So Terrence's stats, they speak for themselves. He has placed second behind Chris Bumstead in 2020 and 2021, and he has also won that Arnold title twice in his career. So Martin Fitzwater was the youngest guy in the men's open bodybuilding this year at the Olympia, and the man made history. I mean top 4 in the world at his first ever Miss Olympia. That is something so incredible. How many guys did we saw took a whole year off but did not live up to the hype, did not live up to their own expectations? James Hollingshead, Antoine, Regan Grimes, Rafael Brandao. Those are some of the names who took the entire year off, along with Martin, the man who categorically said he isn't doing any show after the Arnold UK back in 2022. And just take a look at the names who were able to beat him at that show. Andrew Jack, James Hollingshead, and Patrick Johnson. But Martin came back with a vengeance, and he placed higher than all of these big names, placed higher than what we all expected from him for his Olympia debut. So Martin has made it to Prague along with his coach Stefan, and they are aiming to bring an even better package than what we saw at the Olympia this year. And do not let this really white light fool you, because the man is in shape and he is gonna be absolutely ripped, shredded to the bone. So how many of you guys remember that people calling him out during the peak week of this past Miss Olympia that he isn't in shape based on those pictures which were taken in such a harsh light? So again, I'm gonna say, expect the best from Martin this coming weekend. So guess who else is there in Prague, along with his coach? The biggest bodybuilding star in the world, Chris Bumstead, is there, along with his coach Hani Rembot, for their final ride together. And I think you can just see there is less pressure on Cbum and Hani Rembot for this one. I think Chris Bumstead men's open debut, that has to be one of the most anticipated things that happened in the recent times, especially when it comes to pro bodybuilding.
All right, guys, got to Prague. No sleep, but still came to the gym, and look who's here. This guy.
I slept like a baby on the plane, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, he slept. I didn't, but that's okay. But we're still gonna get the workout in. And if you guys are anywhere in Europe, don't try to come here because it's already sold out. Check it out online.
Check out the pay-per-view. That's all you get.
That's right.
Unless you bring me muffins, then you can come.
Muffin addict.
So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.